Hi, welcome to Ian's Diner. I'm Ian Lauer.
And I'm Tad the Diet Coach.
In the diner we bring you information to help you make wise choices in the kitchen or on the road. And today we're doing a versus series. Which foods are we pitting against each other today?
So today we're going to put together two interesting foods in our versus campaign here. Whole eggs versus egg whites. And again, egg whites have been a kingpin in the industry for a protein source since I've been involved in the industry over 29 years. And it's because whey protein didn't get really released in this industry until the early 90s, like 92, 93, and probably 92, 91. And so before that it was milk protein and egg protein. Egg protein being the kingpin because it was it was low fat, of course non-fat, and it had a very rich source of leucine. But at the time they didn't have those studies on leucine, so we didn't know that. But we did know that it was very highly biologically available. The BV value was very, very high. It's almost as high as whey protein. So, which is really interesting because everybody before that thought it was red meat, and then all of a sudden we all realized in the late 80s and early 90s that, oh, egg whites were better. So the only drawback to egg whites is one, they are nitrogen bound, so when you eat a lot of them, people have a tendency to have a lot of gas, a lot of flatulence, a lot of gas. Ask my wife, she'll tell you as her prep gets through, I can vouch for this. Because I do have egg whites in her diet. So, sorry, didn't mean to call her out on that, but it does smell. But vegetable matter will cause the same kind of thing. But egg whites do this too because they are nitrogen bound. Whole eggs have a value as well because, especially if you get the omega-3 eggs, because they've been infused with omega-3 fatty acids. And what they do is they feed these chickens foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and so the eggs they produce have a higher content of omega-3 fatty acids. And you can look in your grocery store, and when you see the omega-3 eggs, look at the size of the egg, because you want to get the large ones, and look at how much omega-3s are in each egg. They'll tell you how many milligrams. And the best I've seen is about 280 milligrams per egg, and that's awesome. I mean, that kind, between 200 and 400, I think 280 is about average. That's really good, because if you're eating a couple of those a day, two a day or 3 a day at the most, that's a good supplement outside of your normal supplementation. So they both have their value, but in a versus here, when it comes to contest prep, when it comes to dieting, staying lean, egg whites win the battle by hands down, because you can't do, most guys who are over 200 pounds have to get about 50 grams of protein per meal or somewhere in that vicinity, and that's about 10 to 11 egg whites, and so and that's about 5, 6, 7 eggs, whole eggs, something like that. And so that's a lot of fat to ingest at one time. So it makes whole eggs a very limited source. So usually I suggest adding 1 or 2 whole omega-3 fatty acid eggs to your egg whites in the off season, or maybe when you're dieting, depending on where your fat levels are. But in the versus here, the kingpin here is still egg whites.
Excellent, Tad. Thanks for sharing your knowledge on that subject.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. And if people have any other questions for me or want details about some of the issues and things we talked about, they're more than welcome to email me at tad@tadthedietcoach.com or just visit my website.
So if you haven't yet, make sure you follow Tad.
Absolutely.
And thanks for joining us here at Ian's Diner. Make sure you check back soon for more great episodes.